Hey YouTube, hi, my name is Kim Samantha Ramsey. You can call me Kim Sam Ram. I have been going through I guess it's just been a tough moment for trying to grow back hair. I cut off my sister locks in, I want to say 2015, the earlier part of 2015. And then I had to recut my hair several times. I think we're at big chop number 7, 8. I don't know. You get to the point where it's not a big chop anymore. It's just like a repeated chop, 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 chop. Um, because I kept having issues with balding, and it was like, the hair would grow, and then there'd be a bald patch. The hair would grow, then there'd be a multiple bald patches. So my afro would grow in an uneven shape, kind of like a golf ball. Hair's really white, so it does look like a golf ball, but I'll show you what I mean. If you look, you can see um, small patches that really kind of they look odd. So, what have I tried? I have tried lots and lots of different things. Um, I tried Sulfur 8, I tried T Triple Z4, which was lovely. I loved the smell of that product, and I felt it left the hair really soft, but I still ended up with the thinning. Sorry, prior to getting, I would get to about 6 months, and this would be totally bald, that kind of neighborhood. So finally, I got to the point where I felt like, excuse me, it couldn't all be external. So in the past, I've had low iron, so I had that checked, and as predicted, my iron was low. But also, I found out that I was allergic to a number of foods that I quite happily shoved down my throat and ate because I enjoyed them. Things like eggs, bananas, plantains, strawberries, lobster, milk, even though I'm not supposed to have it, makes me a bit gassy. So, um, so those things caused an inflammation. Oh yeah, gluten. That's the big one. Bread, no bread, and also having a sweet tooth really didn't help either. So I never forget, and the people that I work with at my job, some of the girls we were talking, and I had a day where I just had a terrific sugar craving, and I wanted sugar uh, to no end. And I ended up eating a big fat piece of New York cheesecake. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't have talked me out of it. I would have gladly given my home and mortgage and life savings for it. Um, and the moment I completed eating the fat old piece of triangle of cheesecake, I felt like an itching in my scalp automatically. So what happened was the itching became a small balding spot, and then it became a huge balding spot. So it started off as a little small balding spot in my crown, and then it just took out the crown. So what I found out was the hard way, really, because that's normally the way I learn. Um, Tough in the head sometimes. But I found out that sugar makes my scalp itch. So knowing this, what I learned to do was reduce my sugar intake. That being said, I went to see a dermatologist. Also, I'm giving you like a synopsis of what's happened since I had my first big chop and up until now, so that I can actually move forward and try and give you a decent hair journey moving forward. So I went to see a dermatologist, and I also went to see a specialist regarding why how come I've got these food allergies and stuff like that. Anyway, So the dermatologist said, yes, it's something called seborrheic dermatitis. So seborrheic dermatitis is yeast or some form of yeast, and it's in your scalp. Malassezia seems to, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but anyway. She gave me some products which I initially started using, but I found that it made my hair very dry, like crispy. And the one thing you know with grey hair is you don't want it to be crispy, because once it's crispy, it breaks off. It's really annoying too, you know, especially if you're wearing black, you've got white bits all over your black clothes. It's very frustrating. So I stopped using it after about 3 months. I said, yeah, you know, no, I'm done with that. So then I watched a whole heap of stuff on natural ways to treat the, you know, these balding patches and stuff like that. And finally, I've come to the conclusion, well, you know, and also obviously with the other specialist, found out that even though I was eating iron to try and correct my iron deficiency, the iron wasn't being absorbed because I had some form of bacteria in my stomach. So, you know, well and truly messed up in general. So what I decided to do was do a clean sweep, and that meant detoxing from the foods that cause my body to become inflamed, and also kind of cooking more at home. I cooked maybe 2 times a week. Now it has to be a solid 4 or 5 times a week. And also I'm trying to cut out starches, carbs. So just by having the tummy treated for the small intestinal bacterial overload, and also eating appropriately, like having more vegetables and eating protein, drinking a slew of water. I have to say, you've got to drink water. So that actually has made my hair a lot softer. So you can see there is this square. It was worse before. Before it would never grow back. I've got a nice little patch here, just like looked like somebody slapped me in the top of my head. And then this one, it seems to be growing in. I use one product only. This is me. Hi, my name is Kim Ramsey. I am a product junkie. I have been purchasing products weekly for the past 4 or 5 years. Had to stop all that. That's not working. So the one product that I am sticking to, well, actually there's about 2. The one product that I do use on my patches try to do it on a daily basis, sometimes 2 times a day, and massage in, is something called Mercy Ointment. Mercy Ointment is from Ghana. It's a very kind of like easy-going product. It's pretty greasy or oily, but it sits on your scalp very nicely, and whatever itching you have, it takes away. It's managed to, for some reason, to grow this back in. Obviously it's not growing back in evenly as yet. The good thing about having grey hair is that it does show you where the gaps are. The other thing that I did was all that washing, shampooing every day. Yeah, you can't do that with grey hair. It's like you have to handle grey hair like it's fine lace, fine soft lace. So this is not even grey now, it's white, isn't it? Look at that piece there. That's grey, but this is white. So yeah, grey and white hair is very fragile. I think I have very poor low porosity hair. Like it soaks in grease very quickly. So, you know, the more I put on it, the more it needs. But then in the same vein, if I put too much products on the hair, because it's so fragile, it snaps off. So I can't use anything that's too heavy. It has to be light. Sorry, this is like you know, this is my experience, because I just saw this beautiful woman on YouTube, maybe about, I think it was 24 hours ago, and she had this. She's got exactly the same hair as me, like to a T, and she's had exactly the same form of thinning, balding. I can tell you right now, when you lose your hair and you're used to having hair, it is the most god awful experience. You feel like pissed off. You feel very anxious because people are looking at the top of your head, and you know that they're talking to you, but they're looking at the top of your head like that, just like that, and it's irritating. So I wouldn't want anybody to go through what I went through, in terms of, you know, the, I guess, just the feeling of embarrassment and stuff. I know that not everybody can take short hair. I'm fortunate that, God, I've got like one of those round heads, small peanut head, so I can actually, I'm, you know, not too bad with a short haircut. But I do miss having length, and I do wish that I could have like a style where I could pin it up or just do something different. But I do like a short afro too. So right now, all I'm really focusing on is scalp care. So that means regular massages so that the scalp doesn't get tight. I think tight scalps can actually contribute to baldness. What I never do is I never pull or try to braid my hair tightly. It just can't take it. It's too fragile. It's too weak. For the past few weeks, I've been sleeping without a scarf. That's probably because I couldn't find the bloody thing, because it was somewhere in one of the boxes. I've just moved house recently, so I'm still undoing boxes. And you are a product of what you eat and the environment that occurs around you. Recently, one of my partners died, so it was like a real stress, because I had just spoken to him, and it was really, you know, when you, if you had known that it was the last time that you was going to ever talk to somebody, you would have said more. But I just hope and pray that his journey to soar with the ancestors is going to be a good one. He was a good bloke, really nice person, beautiful man. So that alone, that type of stress, having death or some kind of life event like moving house, studying, just the general way in which we absorb life events that happen to us, you know, that goes into your head. You hold stress. This right here, people be like, oh my God, you're so young. How come you, like, well, I ain't that young. You know, I'm a big woman. I'm like, I want to hit 50 with a little bit of hair on my scalp. I'm not there yet. I've got a year and some change to go, but I would like to hit 50 with a fuller afro. That's my reason for doing this YouTube thing. And also, there's not that many silver-haired ladies on here. There's some big names. I think there's a lady called D.L. Writer. There's another lady called Mildred who's phenomenal. There's one more woman who's in Hollywood. I've forgotten her name. And I got to give big props to them, because YouTube has shown other people that, you know, life goes on, irregardless of what your hair status is, what your choice of hairstyle is. If you choose to do weaves, if you want to do protective styling, if you want to braid, if you've got hair down to your arse or backside or ass, if you've got hair that's as short as mine or skin shorter, you know, it's about empowerment. So this is really coming out of my comfort zone. I really thank you for watching. And yeah, I guess today, let me give you a date. Today's the 30th of July 2016, and we are aiming for me, Kim, to get these areas filled in and to have some form of hair journey. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and this is video numero uno. Okay, take care, God bless, and be safe out on these streets. Bye.